Barbie's perfect world looks simple, but it's built on ideology. This essay examines Barbie through the Frankfurt School ideas on the cultural industry, showing how media shapes social values, femininity, and identity. Barbie changes with each generation. This reflects hegemony. Mattel adapts the doll so their version of girlhood stays dominant and socially accepted. Barbie changes with each generation, reflecting cultural trends and social ideals. This shows Gramsci's hegemony. Mattel adapts the doll to maintain ideas of normal girlhood, subtly teaching values, aspirations, and beauty standards, shaping how audiences understand femininity.
Barbie, you're beautiful. You make me feel.
The first Barbie commercial presents a 1950s vision of womanhood, focused on beauty, fashion, and aspiration.
Dancing outfit rings.
Althusa would call this an ideological state apparatus, a cultural tool teaching girls the norms and roles society expects of them. Even in this early ad, we can see how media positions audiences to accept these ideals as natural. This shows how commercial media has long shaped identity and gender expectations, embedding ideology into everyday culture.
Tell it's Mattel, it's swell.
As society changes, Barbie changes too. Careers, appearances, and diversity expands with each generation. This illustrates Gramsci's idea of flexible hegemony. Power adapts to remain relevant while shaping ideas of what is considered normal. Even as Barbie becomes more inclusive, the doll subtly teaches audiences what society values and expects from girls, showing how media constructs cultural norms. The timeline also highlights the tension between progressive representation and commercial interests, reflecting Jameson's idea that commercial culture often packages ideology in appealing forms, making it feel natural rather than imposed. Barbieland shows a perfect idealized world, while the real world is more complex. This reflects Althusa's idea of ideology.
Barbie in the real world. That's impossible.
You have to go to the real world.
Go back to your regular life, or you can know the truth about the universe. The choice is now yours.
The first one, the high heel.
You have to want to know, okay?
Media shapes how we see norms as natural. The contrast highlights how commercial media sells ideals that influence audiences' views of success, beauty, and happiness. Mattel now markets empowerment and diversity. This shows how companies use representation strategically, turning social change into profitable brand image.
It is literally impossible to be a woman.
Gloria's monologue captures the contradictions women navigate. Bell Hooks argues feminism must address how patriarchy shapes everyday emotions and expectations. The speech exposes those pressures.
But somehow we're always doing it wrong.
And here's the thing. Women feel responsible for a system they didn't create. This links to hegemony because these expectations are treated as normal, even though they limit real equality. The film uses this moment to reveal how ideological pressures shape women's everyday choices, showing how social norms are reinforced through culture and emotion.
It's too hard, it's too contradictory, and nobody gives you a medal or says thank you.
And if all of that is also true for a doll, just representing a woman, then I don't even know.
Hooks argues that genuine liberation requires intersectional awareness. Her writing reminds us that Barbie's feminism has limits. It celebrates empowerment, but often through white, slim, heterosexual norms. This tension shows how ideology can both challenge and reinforce power. And Jameson shows how media reflects the economy, teaching audiences what society values. Barbie illustrates this by making certain ideals feel normal. Stuart Hall's reception theory explains how audiences interpret media in different ways. Some viewers accept that intended meaning, the dominant or preferred reading. Others may negotiate, partially accepting it but questioning some aspects, a negotiated reading. Some reject the intended message entirely, an oppositional reading. With Barbie, audiences may respond differently. Some embrace the empowerment messages, others enjoy the fantasy while questioning the unrealistic ideals, and some reject the commercialized norms altogether. This shows that meaning is not fixed and that audiences play an active role in shaping how ideology is received. Even today, Barbie isn't just a toy, she's a cultural icon. Fans across social media create videos, memes, and parodies, engaging with Barbie in ways that both celebrate and critique her. This active interaction shows that audiences don't simply absorb media messages, they interpret, negotiate, and sometimes challenge them. In line with Stuart Hall's reception theory, viewers can accept, partially agree, or reject the ideas Barbie communicates, demonstrating that media influence is never fixed but shaped through dialogue between text and audience. In conclusion, Barbie shows how contemporary media shapes culture, norms, and social values, just as the Frankfurt School argued with the culture industry. Using Gramsci, Althusser, Hall, Bell Hooks, and Jameson, we can see how Barbie communicates ideas about femininity, beauty, and identity, while audiences interpret, negotiate, and sometimes challenge these messages. From merchandising and commercials to fan reactions, Barbie is more than just a toy. It reflects, reinforces, and occasionally questions societal ideals, showing how media can influence what we think is normal, acceptable, or desirable. This demonstrates that media is never neutral. Every image, ad, or story carries ideology and power, shaping our understanding of ourselves and others. But audiences are not passive. They actively engage, question, and make sense of these messages based on their own experiences and beliefs. Barbie's evolution over the decades shows how media adapts to maintain influence while responding to cultural change, subtly teaching values, aspirations, and beauty standards along the way. By examining Barbie, we can see how ideology, hegemony, and commercial power work together to influence culture, and how audiences respond to and sometimes resist these messages. Media isn't something that just happens to us, it shapes what we think. We also shape it through our reactions, our conversations, and the meanings we take from it. Barbie shows us that the images and stories we consume carry ideas about who we should be, what is valuable, and how we should live, but those ideas are not fixed. They can be questioned and challenged. This reminds us that media is powerful, but it's never one-sided. It reflects society's values while also pushing audiences to accept, negotiate, or reject those values. So we must ask ourselves, which stories do we accept? Which do we challenge? And what kind of media world do we want to help create? How much influence do we let media have over our understanding of ourselves and the world around us?